I don't know. हाँ.
गौतम दास
फ्रॉम वेयर?
उड़ीसा। उड़ीसा
मैंने बोल दिया है.
उड़ीसा का कौन कौन था?
सबका बोल दिया. बोल दिया. सबका बोल दिया.
मानस महापात्र तो नहीं है ना?
सबका बोल दिया है. जो
किसका
कल
नाम आया?
कल जितने थे सबका.
कल तो एक था मानस महापात्र, वो चला गया।
अच्छा, मिस्टर गौतम
दास
और
सुधांशु पालो।
चीफ गेस्ट आ गए हैं हमारे.
हाँ, उनको रिसीव करें।
सुधांशु
पालो।
पालो।
We welcome Mr. Gautam Das and Mr. Sudhanshu Palu from Odisha and Mr. Avani Shahu. Thank you so much. Friends, the Honorable Chief Guest has already arrived. He would be shortly be with us.
A team of scholars.
Yes. I request the honorable guest to please clear the middle row. Please clear the middle row. And please occupy your seats. Please be comfortable on your seats. And please wear your mask as far as possible. Please. The number is increasing.
सतीश ठीक है। मेडिसिन तो बाहर करा है अभी बाहर तो ले आएंगे पाउच इसमें से ऑपरेशन में निकाल दूँगा। नहीं तो हो जाएगी तो अभी खत्म हो जाएगा 1 घंटे में। इतना उड़ गया इधर से
गिर गया कल. Oh. Okay.
Now he says 95% ready. पेट किलर दे दिया।
मंत्री भी आए हुए हैं ना.
आइए उसको बोल दो।
BCI staff, please help the guests to occupy their seats, please. क्या हुआ है नहीं क्या? ऊपर तो नहीं लेगा. Friends, please welcome Shri Bhupendra Yadav, Honorable Union Minister of Labour and Employment. We also have Shri Vivek Tankha, MP, Rajya Sabha. Please welcome Shri Vivek Tankha. Senior Advocate and Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Shri Vivek Tankha. I request the Honorable Chairman and Vice Chairman, Mr. P. Wilson, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha. We welcome Mr. Wilson, Senior Advocate. Please escort the Honorable Chief Guest on the dais, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji is being felicitated by Bar Council of India, not only because he has been an advocate and is a member of our family and fraternity, but also because he is an agile, vigilant and caring member of our fraternity, a mentor, friend, philosopher and guide, and a trusted counselor of lawyers of the country. Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji would be by the side of lawyers whenever there is a need, and we have experienced it in November 2019 when there was police firing on advocates in Tis Hazari Court. He played a proactive role in getting justice to lawyers and getting action taken against the erring police officers, constituting judicial inquiry. भूपेंद्र यादव जी का बार के प्रति जो प्रेम, जो स्नेह, जो आस्था, जो प्रतिबद्धता है, यह अनुकरणीय है। और अनुकरणीय है उनके लिए जो लोग हमारे साथ वकालत करते रहे हैं और उसके बाद आज या तो हाई कोर्ट के जज हैं या सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज हैं या मंत्री पद पे या दूसरी जगह सुशोभित हैं, उन सब के लिए अनुकरणीय है। नाउ प्लीज गिव ए बिग हैंड टू श्री भूपेंद्र यादव जी। ए हार्टी वेलकम भूपेंद्र जी। नाउ टू बिगिन द प्रोसीडिंग्स फॉर टुडेज फंक्शन, I request our chief guest Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji and the honorable guest on the dais Mr. P. Wilson, Mr. Yadav ji, Higher Education Minister from Madhya Pradesh, and other dignitaries to light the lamp, please. A team of scholars from Lal Bahadur Shastri Sanskrit University is present here to recite the Deep Mantra. It is led by Professor Ramesh Kumar Pandey, Vice Chancellor. Please.
ज्योतिर्ज्योतिरग्निः स्वाहा सूर्यो ज्योतिर्ज्योतिः सूर्यः स्वाहा अग्निर्वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा ज्योतिः सूर्यः सूर्यो ज्योतिः स्वाहा पावकानः सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनी वाति जजयां वस्तु धिया वसुः।
शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Professor Ramesh Pandey and his team of professors from Dr. Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Sanskrit University, and courtesy Mr. R.N. Vats. Thank you, Mr. Vats. Now I would request the Honorable Chairman Bar Council of India, Shri Manan Kumar Mishra, to please give the welcome address.
Before I start the speech, I'll request Mr. Chetan Sharma Sahab, the learned ASG, to come and take your seat on the dais. Please, please come, sir. उनको यहाँ बैठाइए। चेतन जी, Honorable Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji, the Union Minister for Labour, Employment and Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Honorable Mr. Vivek Tankha ji, Senior Advocate, Member Parliament. Honorable Mr. P. Wilson, Senior Advocate, Member Parliament. Mr. Mohan Yadav ji, Minister of State Higher Education, the State of Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Chetan Sharma ji, the learned ASG. Neeraj ji, the honorable representatives of the bar councils and bar associations of different parts of the country, honorable colleagues in the Bar Council of India, the members of legal fraternity, young friends, media persons, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have assembled here the representatives of lawyers, the leaders of the bar from all parts of the country, are here to felicitate Honorable Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji, the Union Minister for Labour, Employment and Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Bhupendra Yadav ji was born on 30th of June 1969 at Ajmer, Rajasthan. From the very childhood, he was inspired by the stories of the great patriots of nation and dreamed of working for the motherland. He is BA Honours and graduated in LLB from Government College, Ajmer. Honorable Bhupendra Yadav ji joined the bar. He picked up a very lucrative practice in Supreme Court and High Court. As an advocate, he has been a source of constant support and guide for the bar. He has always stood for the causes of bar and helped the Bar Council as well as the advocates at the times of crisis. He is an invaluable asset to the legal fraternity. He was the government counsel for the Librarian Commission, which investigated the 1992 demolition of Babri Masjid case, and Justice Wadhwa Commission, which investigated the murder of Australian missionary Graham Staines. He was the advocate whose hard labor, whose sincere efforts has brought into picture today the Ram Mandir at Ajodhya. In the year 2000, at a very young age, he was appointed the General Secretary of Akhil Bharatiya Adhivakta Parishad and held this position till 2009. He was the war room strategist behind securing convincing victories for his party in the assembly election of Rajasthan in 2013, Gujarat 2017, Jharkhand 2014, and Uttar Pradesh 2017. On 4th April 2012, he was elected as a member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, representing the state of Rajasthan. A position he has held since 2012. He was re-elected in the April 2018. He is a Minister of Labour and Employment and Environment, Forest and Climate Change since July 2021. He is the National General Secretary of Bharatiya Janata Party since 2010. In all roles that he has taken up, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji has proven that the hard work, dedication, standing by principle can take one a very long way. This he has proved. Mr. Yadav ji, his reputation as an expert of parliamentary select committees has earned him the title of committee man. He was the chairman of the Joint Committee on Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2015. He was also the chairman of Rajya Sabha Select Committee on Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, which came into effect on May 28, 2016, is considered as an important legislation for early detection of financial sickness of any corporate debtor and to deal with such sickness in a time-bound manner by allowing the implementation of the effective resolution plan if the same is viable. In January 2019, the Supreme Court of India upheld the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 in its entirety, tossing out a batch of petitions that had challenged the constitutional validity of several provisions, including the one that has barred the promoters of defaulting companies and connected persons from bidding for stressed assets. It will be a historic moment for the country that during the term of Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji as Labour Minister, the 29th Central Labours Act, which have been integrated into 4 parts, is likely to be promulgated very soon. The Centre, under the leadership of our Honourable Labour Minister, is ready with the rules for the 4 codes passed by the Parliament last year, but is waiting for states to finalize those in their domain to avoid any legal void once the code are fully implemented. Honourable Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji has chaired numerous parliamentary committees and he has been a member of various parliamentary committees. Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice 2018, Joint Committee on Financial Resolution and Deposit Insurance Bill 2017, Select Committee of Rajya Sabha on Constitution, 120th Third Amendment Bill 2017, Committee on Commerce Member, General Purposes Committee, Joint Committee on Enforcement of Security Interest and Recovery of Debts Laws and Miscellaneous Provisions Amendment Bill 2016, Select Committee of Rajya Sabha on Enemy Property Amendment and Validation Bill 2016, Joint Committee on Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2015, Select Committee of Rajya Sabha on the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2013, Select Committee of Rajya Sabha on Constitution 120th 22nd Amendment Bill 2014, Select Committee of Rajya Sabha on Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2015, Select Committee of Rajya Sabha on Repealing and Amending Bill 2014, Rajya Sabha Select Committee on GST Bill, and several other such select committees of Parliament. Honourable Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji is the co-author of the book Supreme Court on Forest Conservation, paperback published by Universal Law Publishers 2005. For 9 years, that is from 2000 to 2009, continuously published Nyay Prabha, a legal magazine published by the Akhil Bharatiya Adhivakta Parishad, and various articles published in Nyay Prabha and other leading newspapers and magazines. He regularly expressed his views on the issues of critical importance in various media. I had the occasion to visit his house several times, and I must say that our Honourable Minister has remarkable array of collection of books on diverse subjects Also, he has keen interest in poetry and literature. As a religious man, he has a very good grip on our pious epic Gita. Sir, you are holding the Ministry of Labor and Employment, which is one of the oldest and important ministries of the Government of India. The main responsibility of the ministry is to protect and safeguard the interest of workers in general and those who constitute the poor, deprived, and disadvantaged sections of society in particular. It is to create a healthy work environment for higher production and productivity and to develop and coordinate vocational skill training and employment services. Our Honorable Prime Minister has entrusted this job to you for promotion of welfare and to provide social security to the labor force both in organized and unorganized sectors in tandem with the process of liberalization. Friends, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the nodal agency in the administrative structure of the central government for the planning, promotion, coordination, and overseeing the implementation of India's environmental and forestry policies and programs. It is very, very important for the development of the country as also for the future generation. When Honorable Prime Minister did not find the desired result from the predecessors in office of this ministry, he entrusted this ministry to the most efficient, dynamic, practical, and laborious man, our Honorable Chief Guest today, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji. एक और बात बता दूं, ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब के सिलेक्शन का कमाल है। 2 दिन पहले बारिश से हालत ख़राब थी, ऐसा लग रहा था कि फंक्शन हम लोग कैसे करेंगे। क्लाइमेट चेंज की मिनिस्ट्री क्यों दी गई, ये साबित हो गया। This ministry also serves as the nodal agency in the country for the United Nations Environment Program, South Asia Cooperative Environment Program, International Center for Integrated Mountain Development, and for the follow-up of the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. This ministry is also entrusted with the issues relating to multilateral bodies such as Commission on Sustainable Development, Global Environment Facility, and the regional bodies like Economic and Social Council for Asia and Pacific and South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation on the matters pertaining to the environment. And we are sure that our country would achieve the desired objectives of this ministry under your able leadership. The important objectives of this ministry are conservation and survey of flora, fauna, forests and wildlife, prevention and control of pollution, afforestation and regeneration of degraded areas, protection of the environment and ensuring the welfare of animals. Employment, so far employment is concerned, creation of employment is the biggest challenge before our country today. And our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji knows that this problem can be solved only and only by Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji. सर, मैंने कल भी कहा था, एक गेस्ट को भगवान की पूजा करते हैं हम और उसके बाद प्रार्थना मंत्र सब पढ़ते हैं और उसके बाद कुछ मांगते हैं। Now, sir, since you are here, you are one amongst us, we know that you understand our needs and the requirements. You have been a good lawyer. You are from a middle-class family. You are very well aware of the difficulties, the struggle a young lawyer or a mediocre advocate and his family faces for whole of his life. During illness, disabilities, the entire family comes on road. COVID-19 has engulfed several thousands of advocates' families on the verge of starvation. Nobody is there to look at the problem, orphan children. We have already requested the Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice and Honorable CJI, and we are looking forward to some kind of social welfare and insurance scheme in the year 2018, while Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad ji was the Union Minister for Law and Justice. We were given the assurance that this insurance scheme will be implemented for all the lawyers. Sir, it is still due. I hope and I again request Honorable Bhupendra Yadav ji, and I know that only now he is in power. At that time he was the General Secretary of BJP, but now he is a part of the government. We are 100% sure that we are going to get some welfare schemes for the lawyers. Sir, the condition of many courts, district and lower level, are pathetic. We expect your wholehearted support in improving the conditions. As the Chairman of Parliamentary Committee, you have ensured us to make suitable changes in the Advocates Act to strengthen the Bar Council. We need your help. You have always come to our rescue. Whenever we faced any attacks from any part, you have always stood with the Bar Council of India as a strong pillar. याद दिला दूं, लॉ कमीशन का एक रिपोर्ट आ गया, आप सबको याद है, सभी अधिवक्ता हैं. बार काउंसिल्स का, बार एसोसिएशन का पूरा स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होने जा रहा था. सब ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के और जुडिशरी के हाथ में वकीलों का रेगुलेशन जाने वाला था. I have no hesitation in saying that it was only and only due to Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji that law commission report that was thrown into waste paper box. Sir, the virtual hearings have left many advocates jobless, and we have seen them to face agonizing times. We cannot close our eyes to the social structure and strata of our society, where still maximum advocates from various parts of the country are unable to survive and earn a living if virtual hearing continue. We have already informed and requested Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Law Minister, that they should take all steps, all possible steps for resumption of the physical hearing in all courts, right from Supreme Court to lower courts at the earliest. We hope and we are sure that your role in this matter will be very, very and very important, and only because of your role the physical hearings in all courts will be resumed. Sir, for the matters of arbitration, the lawyers should also be given opportunity. Only the former judges, who are so costly, only few weeks back, a bench of Supreme Court has said that the former judges are so costly that many of the clients, many of the litigants, they are unable to afford the fee. The lawyers, the young lawyers, the experienced lawyers, they are there to serve the country and to do the arbitration between the parties. Since our honorable chief guest today is holding several powerful portfolios and he is a renowned leader of the bar, we are making this request to your good self. Sir, we need certain important and necessary amendments in the Advocates Act. The Bar Council should have its major say in the matters of senior designation and appointment of judges. We have already conveyed this to Honorable Chief Justice of India and Honorable Union Law Minister. Kindly help us. जब भी जरूरत पड़ती है और कभी फुर्सत के क्षण होते हैं तो मैं अपने बार काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया के कुछ फ्रेंड्स के साथ, स्टेट के कुछ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स आ गए, उन्होंने इच्छा जाहिर की, वकीलों का कोई सहारा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में दूसरा है ही नहीं सिवा भूपेंद्र यादव जी। ये एकदम सच्चाई है, इसमें कहीं कोई बनावटी ये नहीं है कि यहां खड़ा होकर कोई बनावटी बात कर रहा हूं। कोई बात हुई तो हम लोग भोजपुरी में कहा जाए भूपेंद्र यादव जी बानी नू देख ले, माने ही इज देयर, वी हैव नो प्रॉब्लम, वी आर सेफ। जब भी आप जाएंगे उनके यहां, मुस्कुराता चेहरा, एकदम खुले हाथ से आपका स्वागत। आप बिना चाय पिए, बिना कुछ लिए, कुछ स्वीट्स लिए आप वहां से वापस नहीं आएंगे। ये वो दरबार है। तो हमें गर्व है कि हमारे समाज के गौरव माननीय भूपेंद्र यादव जी को आज हम सम्मानित करने के लिए इकट्ठे हुए हैं। जोरदार तालियों के साथ हम इनका स्वागत करें। मैं जानता हूं आज वक्ता बहुत होंगे, कल वाली बात नहीं है कि जरा जल्दी जरा जल्दी। मैंने कह भी दिया है कि थोड़ा समय हम लोग लेंगे। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ जय हिंद जय भारत कहते हुए वाणी को विराम देता हूं। सबको नमस्कार।
Chairman sir very rightly said, Bhupendra Yadav ji has always stood like a rock by the side of lawyers and taken the lawyers community out of crisis whenever there was any need. Now we have one more delegation from Tamil Nadu Advocates Association led by Mr. Aristotle, and other members are Mr. Ram Sankar, Mr. Ananda Selvam, Mr. Vasant, Mr. Leo, Mr. Partha Sarthi, Mr. Mailes Sani, and Ms. Seva. Welcome all of you. And now, presentation of bouquet. I would request the Honorable Chairman, Bar Council of India, to present a bouquet to the Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji. Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. S. Prabhakaran. Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, to welcome the Chief Guest, Shri Bhupendra Yadav. Mr. Apurva Kumar Sharma ji. Apurva ji represents Assam in Bar Council of India. Now Mr. Devi Prasad Dhal, our representative from Odisha, to welcome the Honorable Chief Guest. Dhal Saab from Odisha. Mr. Manoj Kumar, our representative from Kerala. And thereafter, Mr. Rami Reddy, please be ready. Mr. Deshmukh ji. Mr. Rami Reddy. Deshmukh ji, please be ready. Sadashiv Reddy ji. नहीं. Shrimali ji. Deshmukh ji represent Maharashtra and Goa. Suresh Chand Shrimali ji from Rajasthan. श्रीनाथ त्रिपाठी जी, देसराज शर्मा जी, शैलेंद्र दुबे जी, प्रताप सिंह जी, प्रशांत सिंह जी, श्रीमाली जी फ्रॉम राजस्थान, देसराज शर्मा जी represents हिमाचल, दलीप पटेल जी, हाँ ये श्रीनाथ त्रिपाठी जी प्लीज कम, हाँ हो जाए, मिस्टर विष्णुवर्धन रेड्डी जी, श्रीनाथ त्रिपाठी जी represents उत्तर प्रदेश, प्रताप सिंह जी पंजाब एंड हरियाणा, and Prashant Singh from Jharkhand, Mr. Dalip Patel, Gujarat, Vishnuvardhan Reddy ji, Telangana, D.K. Sharma ji, Pratap Mehta ji, D.K. Sharma ji from Uttarakhand. Shri Ramachandra Rao ji, former member Bar Council of India from Andhra. I request Mr. Prabhakaran ji to please welcome Dr. Mohan Yadav, Minister Higher Education, Government of Madhya Pradesh. And Mr. Dhal, please welcome Mr. Vivek Tankha, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha. And Mr. Apurva Sharma, please, for Mr. P. Wilson, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha. Now I request Shri Chetan Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, to please come and say a few words. Acha, sorry. Our Chairman, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, welcoming Mr. Chetan Sharma. Yes, ji. Chetan Sharma ji, please come.
माननीय श्री भूपेंद्र जी यादव, मंचासीन सभी गणमान्य अतिथिगण, आज समुपस्थित मेरे भाइयों बहनों, आदरणीय ब्राह्मण वर्ग जिन्होंने बहुत सुंदर स्वस्ति वाचन किया, we are gathered here to welcome you, our dear colleague, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav. As rightly pointed out by the chairman, Mr. Mishra, Bhupendra ji is the pride of our profession, the dynamism of this country, the spirit of the spirit of which forms this nation, that is the sanskars of this nation. He is grounded in almost all fields, and the more important part is he is an exceptionally balanced personality. सबसे जो सर्वप्रथम जिसको आप प्राइमा फेसाई बोलते हो, प्रथम दृष्टा, तो आप उनके स्वभाव से, उनकी नम्रता से, उनकी मृदुता से, उनकी एक मंद मंद मुस्काहट और उनका एक आपके प्रति बहुत जेन्युइन लगाव, किसी कोई कारण से कोई मिले तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं कुछ हूं और आप कुछ हैं, ऐसा नहीं है। उनमें यह है कि मैं किस प्रकार से आपकी मदद कर सकता हूं। सकारात्मक, बहुत सकारात्मक व्यक्तित्व के धनी हैं। और जैसे मिश्रा जी ने कहा कि ये हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री को भी इसका बहुत बड़ा श्रेय, बड़ा क्या सारा श्रेय उनको जाता है कि उन्होंने ये ऐसा चुनाव किया और इन मंत्रालयों का किया। ये जो मंत्रालय हैं, दीज आर द मोस्ट क्रूशल मिनिस्ट्रीज। मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ लेबर एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट इज द ओल्डेस्ट and the climate change is the most critical in the entire contemporary world today. इससे बड़ी क्रिटिकल मिनिस्ट्री और कोई हो नहीं सकती और इससे अच्छा कैंडिडेट और कोई हो नहीं सकता। आप जिसका अपना क्लाइमेट ठीक हो वो उसमें सब समत्वता आती है। फर्स्ट बी एट पीस विथ योर सेल्फ, यू विल सी दैट पीस सराउंड्स यू, हैप्पीनेस सराउंड्स यू। यथा दृष्टि तथा दृष्टि। तो जो आप में है वो आप दान करते हैं, वही प्रदान करते हैं, उसी का उत्थान होता है। तो अधिक ना कहते हुए मैं पूर्ण विश्वस्त हूं इस बात पर कि सर, आप जिस प्रकार की आपकी ग्राउंडिंग है, जिस प्रकार से आपने अपना ये बहुत जीवंत जीवन इसको जिया है, सकारात्मक रूप से आपने हर प्रकार से इस देश की, इस राष्ट्र की, संस्था की, भारतीय विद्या अखिल परिषद की, पार्टी की, सब जगह और अब सरकार की सब जगह आपने इतनी समुपुष्ट और इतनी प्रबल आपने उसको सार्थकता प्रदान की है। आने वाले समय में आई प्रे टू गॉड that you will go down in India's history as one of the best ministers we have ever had. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chetan ji. Now I request Shri Vivek Tankha, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, to please come and say a few words.
सम्मान्य भूपेंद्र जी, यूनियन मिनिस्टर तो हैं बट मेरे मित्र भी हैं और बहुत पुराने मित्र हम लोग। सम्मान्य यादव साहब हमारे स्टेट के हैं। सम्मान्य विल्सन जी, हम लोग बहुत पुराने मित्र हैं। अभी तो इनकी बच्चे की शादी में भी मैं गया था चेन्नई, इनफैक्ट भूपेंद्र जी को भी आना था। सम्मानित चेतन शर्मा जी, अगेन अ वेरी ओल्ड फ्रेंड एट द बार। हम लोग पता नहीं कितने साल, तो मैं भूल गया हूँ कितने सालों से आपस में जानते हैं। और जहाँ जब मैं सबको देखता हूँ, अपूर्वा जी को, बहल जी को, और सब जो सामने बैठे हैं, प्रताप जी को, शैलेंद्र जी को, सब लोग इतने जाने पहचाने चेहरे, शर्मा जी, मतलब सब इतने जाने पहचाने चेहरे हैं। सालों से सबसे मिलता रहा हूँ और सबका एक उद्देश्य है, बार की गरिमा बनाए रखना। मुझे ये कहने में कभी हिचक नहीं हुई है कि मनन साहब की लीडरशिप एक बड़ी, मैं शब्द नहीं ढूंढ पा रहा हूँ उसके लिए, बट इट्स एन अमेजिंग लीडरशिप। मतलब जिस तरह से वो सबको जोड़ के काम करते हैं मनन साहब, ये रियली इट्स एस्टाउंडिंग। देखिए, लड़ाई तो बहुत इजी है करना, झगड़ा करना तो सबसे आसान काम है, बट लोगों को बांधना और अपने लोगों की हितों को आगे बढ़ाना ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट होता है। और जिस तरह से वो जब नरम होना है तो नरम हो जाते हैं, गरम होना है तो गरम हो जाते हैं। और आज जब उन्होंने मुझे कल शाम को फ़ोन किया कि भूपेंद्र जी का हम लोग फेलिसिटेशन कर रहे हैं, और उनके दोस्ती में उन्होंने मेरे से पूछा, तनखा साहब आपको हिच तो नहीं है कुछ? मैंने कहा भूपेंद्र जी के लिए मुझे कभी कोई हिच नहीं, और वैसे भी किसी के लिए नहीं रहती मेरे को। और मैंने कहा कि मैं खुशी से आऊँगा, और मैंने कहा मुझे आज बहुत सारे मैंने अपॉइंटमेंट्स दिए थे, मैं सबको पोस्टपोन करके आ रहा हूँ। तो आज मैं अपनी फ्रेटर्निटी के बीच में हूँ, अपने लोगों के बीच में हूँ, और जब हमारे बीच का व्यक्ति को एक अच्छी पोजीशन मिलती है तो ये गर्व की बात है सबके लिए। देखिए, जब से हमने इतिहास पढ़ा है, कम से कम मॉडर्न इंडिया का इतिहास, इट इज़ द लॉयर्स हु हैव लेड द गवर्नमेंट। और आज हमारे बीच में अनदर लॉयर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है हु इज प्लेइंग एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन द गवर्नमेंट। ये खुशी की बात है और फेलिसिटेट करने की भी बात है। एज लॉयर्स हम लोग कनेक्टेड थे, बहुत सारे केसेस हम लोग ने साथ में किए। उसके बाद ये पॉलिटिक्स की तरफ, एक्टिव पॉलिटिक्स की तरफ ग्रेजुएट कर गए। आई थिंक 2012 में आप राज्यसभा में चले गए थे। देन वी डिडंट सी हिम इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ कोर्स, क्योंकि उनके बहुत सारे पार्टी के ड्यूटीज थी जो वो फुलफिल कर रहे थे। जब मैं राज्यसभा में पहुंचा तो पहले दिन जब मैं पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग के अंदर पहुंचा तो पहला व्यक्ति यही थे जो मुझे मिले थे, और हाथ पकड़ के ये मुझे तो ये भी नहीं पता था कि रजिस्टर में कहाँ साइन करना है। हम लोग की रजिस्टर्स होती हैं, अलग अलग पार्टीज की रजिस्टर्स होती हैं, तो मैं तो उस वक्त ढूंढ रहा था कि मुझे जाना कहाँ है। तो ये मुझे हाथ पकड़ के ले गया, कहते ये कांग्रेस पार्टी की रजिस्टर है, यहाँ साइन करिए। सो आई फील लाइफ में एडवर्स अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ भी आती हैं, एडवर्सिटीज़ भी आती हैं, बट हम लोग को एट ऑल टाइम्स एक बैलेंस बना के रखना चाहिए। लॉयल्टी और बैलेंस में कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं है। यू कैन बी अ लॉयल पर्सन एंड बी अ बैलेंस्ड पर्सन। पार्लियामेंट में जब मैंने पहुंचा 2016 में, लगभग हर इम्पोर्टेंट डिस्कशन में ये स्पीकर होते थे, बल्कि मुझे अंदर से खराब लगता था कि मेरे को इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटी क्यों नहीं मिलती है, क्योंकि हमारी पार्टी में बहुत सारे सीनियर लीडर्स थे जो बोलते थे, ये ऑलरेडी सीनियर बन चुके थे अपनी पार्टी में, एंड इनकी शैली ऑलवेज पार्लियामेंट में एक्सेप्ट होती थी। मैंने देखा कि हम जो भी अपोजिशन पार्टीज हैं उसमें भी इनका उतना ही सम्मान है जितना इनके अपनी पार्टी में सम्मान है। हम लोग कमिटीज में भी साथ हो गए। हमारी डीओपीटी की कमिटी थी और वहां भी इन पे आरोप लगता था कि आप तनखा साहब और विल्सन साहब की बात ज्यादा मानते हो, क्योंकि दो वकील थे और हम लोग इनके बाजू में बैठते थे। और बिलीव मी, वी ट्रैवल्ड टू डिफरेंट हाई कोर्ट्स इन इंडिया। इट वाज हिज इनिशिएटिव। हम लोग ने हाई कोर्ट्स के साथ, टॉप 7 जजेस के साथ मीटिंग्स की, चेन्नई में की, बॉम्बे में की, बेंगलोर में की, हैदराबाद, आई डोंट इवन रिमेंबर, बहुत सारे कोर्ट्स में की। हम लोग ने जेल विजिट्स किए और हम लोग चीफ जस्टिस और जजेस से जो जेल इनमेट्स के बारे में बहुत अच्छे क्वेश्चंस किए हम लोग ने कि हाउ टू इम्प्रूव देयर कंडीशन और जेल की कंडीशंस कैसे इम्प्रूव हो सकती हैं। वो एक हमारा एक बड़ा अभियान था, बड़ा मिशन था। फिर कोविड आ गया तो एक दिन मैंने इनको मैसेज किया, मैंने कहा अब हमारी कमेटी का क्या होगा? तो कहते कमेटी होगी। और कोविड के दरमियान जब सेकेंड वेव आया था, जब लोग घर के बाहर नहीं निकलते थे, तो इन्होंने कोर्ट में जो काम नहीं हो पा रहा है और वीसी ठीक से नहीं चल रही है, उस टॉपिक सब्जेक्ट पे कोविड के दरमियान हम लोगों की मीटिंग कराई। पार्लियामेंट हाउस में हम लोग जाते थे और रिकॉर्ड टाइम में कोविड के दरमियान वो रिपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट को सबमिट हुई कि कोर्ट सिस्टम्स को इम्प्रूव करिए। और ये भी इन्होंने बोला हमने उस कमेटी रिपोर्ट में कि जो वीसी है इज नॉट अ सब्स्टिट्यूट फॉर फिजिकल कोर्ट। ये एक इमरजेंसी मेजर है। हमको नहीं पता कोविड कितने दिन तक चलेगा, कितने राउंड्स चलेंगे, थर्ड राउंड होता है नहीं होता, कि किस सिवियरिटी से होता है। और अगर मनन मिश्रा जी, एक आपसे गुजारिश है हमारी रिपोर्ट इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुई है। बार काउंसिल की तरफ से आप पिटीशन लगाइए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हमारी रिपोर्ट को इम्प्लीमेंट कराने के लिए क्योंकि वो रिपोर्ट लॉयर फ्रेंडली है, हमने कोर्ट फ्रेंडली है, और हम चाहते हैं कि जो हम लोगों ने रिकमेंडेशंस दी हैं उनको गंभीरता से लेके कोर्ट के सिस्टम्स को, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को इम्प्रूव किया जाए, क्योंकि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इम्प्रूवमेंट का भी उसमें बहुत सारी रिकमेंडेशंस हैं। क्या होता है कि ये चीज़ें होती हैं बट टाइम लगता है, अगर आप पुश करोगे तो जल्दी हो जाएगी। तो इसीलिए मैं इनको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, इतने एक्टिव प्रेसिडेंट हमारे बार काउंसिल के, कि आप पुश करिए इसको। हम जेपीसी में भी साथ थे जो डाटा प्रिवेसी की थी, और अनगिनत इनिशिएटिव जो होते थे हम लोग ऑलवेज साथ थे, आपस में डिस्कस करते थे। इसलिए मैं इनको एक चीज़ तो कहूँगा, आप योर becoming a minister may be the gain for the country, but it's a loss for us. I will miss my friend in all my meetings. हम लोग की बड़ी amiable meetings हुआ करती थी। हम लोग इनको टॉपिक्स भी बताते थे कि अब आपको कहाँ चलना चाहिए, क्या हाई कोर्ट के लिए, जैसे हम लोग इनको तनखा साहब बताओ कौन कौन हाई कोर्ट चलना चाहिए। ही वुड आस्क। सबसे बड़ी चीज़ है ये सजेस्ट किया ऑलवेज सबको साथ लेने का। जो मैंने मनन मिश्रा जी में देखा वो मैं इनमें भी देखता हूँ, इन दोनों में सबको साथ लेके चलने का एक एटीट्यूड है। अच्छा, जिस व्यक्ति में ये एटीट्यूड रहेगा वो व्यक्ति ऑलवेज सक्सेसफुल होगा। आप में घमंड होगी, आप में ये होगा कि मैं बहुत बड़ा आदमी हूँ, मैं चेयरमैन हूँ, मैं मिनिस्टर हूँ, या मैं कोई भी हूँ, और आप सोचेंगे कि मैं जो कहूँगा वही लॉ है या वही कायदा है, तो चीज़ें नहीं होंगी। आप प्यार से सबको समझाओगे, उनको पार्टिसिपेट कराओगे, उनको फील कराओगे कि यू आर स्टेक होल्डर्स, तो वो चीज़ें होती हैं। तो मुझे आज ऐसे व्यक्ति, आई वुड कॉल हिम पीपल फ्रेंडली, लॉयर फ्रेंडली, के फेलिसिटेशन में आने जो इनवाइट किया गया टू कम हियर, मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई। मैं उनको अ गुड लॉन्ग टेन्योर, अ हैप्पी हेल्दी लाइफ का भी मैं विश करता हूँ, और मैं जानता हूँ कि दो इट इज़ आर लॉस बट इट इज़ नेशंस गेन। थैंक यू, जय हिंद।
थैंक यू वेरी मच तनखा जी। तनखा जी ने अभी बात करी पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी ऑन लॉ एंड कोर्ट्स। I was fortunate enough to argue in that committee on behalf of Bar Council of India, and just a matter of chance, Mr. Wilson and Mr. Tankha, they were member of the committee, and Mr. Bhupendra Yadav was chairman. And the members who argued before the committee, like I got this fortunate opportunity. He gave me whatever amount of argument I was willing to say before him. Now they are all witness to that, and I argued almost 40 minutes. And जो ये हमारे वकीलों की issues हैं, for example this physical hearing, that was the main issue we argued, and he was all out for us. And अभी तनखा जी ने जैसे बोला चेयरमैन साहब, the report is in our favor, and the committee has given a report in our favor, and in favor of physical hearing, and we should do whatever we can for the purpose of ensuring that this physical hearing takes place to the extent of 100% in every court, starting from Supreme Court to the lowest court. And now I request Mr. P. Wilson, Senior Advocate and Honorable Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, to say a few words.
Hero of this morning function, Honorable Bhupendra Yadav ji, Honorable Union Minister of Labour and Employment, Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Mohan Yadav, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, State of Madhya Pradesh, Vivek Tankha ji, Member of Parliament, former Advocate General, Senior Advocate and my good friend, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. Aparu Kumar Sharma, Mr. D.P. Dal, Mr. Chetan Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, High Court, Delhi, my dear friends, advocates, office bearers of various state bar councils, association president, press and media, good morning to you all. I am really happy to be part of this function to felicitate our Honorable Minister, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav ji. As Mr. Tanka said, we all belong to one family. Cutting across all party lines, we have come here wholeheartedly to felicitate him, wish him, congratulate him. I would first of all thank Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra. You have done really a good thing today. You have really felicitating a person who belonged to our community and who was adorned to this highest position as a honorable minister. I would say he's a dynamic person, a man with a vision. Why I am saying is, I have seen him for 2 years in close quarters. Mr. Tankaji has said many things about our committee. In fact, we are members of this Parliamentary Standing Committee for Personal Public Grievance, Law and Justice. I have seen his work, dedicated, hard work, and how he organized the meetings, and how he allowed us. In fact, the Standing Committee is a place where it is a participatory government, like every opposition MPs also can participate in the governance. This is a very beautiful thing which the Constitution has given us. And I could see just Sri Bhupendra Yadav, inside the house, of course, he has to do his duty. And there also, if you see, he maintains very calm and he is to the point. If he is debating on a bill, he will only say about the bill, the merits and demerits of the bill, and of course, something that is required for his party. And he will not go overboard. Likewise, any sensitive issues, that also I have seen him. He will address to that issue. And when it comes to outside the house, you have to see him a different person. We have to maintain that. Of course, this country has to prosper. And at this juncture, I have to take the name of my leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, cutting across all party lines. He is the Chief Minister today. He visits everyone. Any problems, he addresses that. I can see the same, that sort of culture we should maintain. And when I entered Parliament and especially the Standing Committee, I was really happy to see a person like Bhupendra Yadav who encouraged us. And he used to give us freedom. As Tankaji said, what much contribution he has done for this legal profession. I have to tell, we are all witnesses. See, Tankaji said even during COVID time, he called every one of us. Everyone was fearing to come to Delhi, but he called us. Why? Virtual courts. This is an interim arrangement, as Tankaji said, but you have to do something. There should be a grant for that. See, telling one thing, virtual courts and going away, but you should provide grants. You should make it. Today, only one profession which went on very well, even during pandemic time, is advocate profession. Please, brother, you have to give a great applause to our Honorable Bhupendra Yadav, because we had this virtual court system During this pandemic time, all businesses were closed, all shops were closed, but only this profession was functioning because of this virtual court. And he authored 107 standing committees report. This 107th report is very important because I have to tell now three important things which because of Bhupendra Yadav, we were all together on the same pages. Every time, whatever he takes up, all of us, we come from a different party, we will accept it, whatever he says, because he's a man with a vision, as I said earlier. These three important things which he has done for our profession is, one is, he has accepted for a regional benches of Supreme Court. Yesterday also I was speaking before the Chief Justice. He has recommended for the regional benches of Supreme Court. Friends, you all know access to justice is a fundamental right, and this access to justice, it is only for an affluent class of litigants and affluent class of society. We should take the justice to the doorsteps. When municipal courts is established even at a village level, at a zamindari level, why do you have the Supreme Court only in Delhi? Do you mean to say the unitary character of the Supreme Court is going to be affected? Then how come we have so many benches of High Court in our state? How does the unitary character has been affected? You have a constitutional court in Delhi where you can decide on constitutional important cases in Delhi, and other things you can take as a regional benches to your respective regions. So who will be benefited? Our litigants will be benefited. We want first the litigants to be benefited, then the lawyers. So our Bhupendra Yadav ji, he authored in that 107th standing committee report, one is about the regional benches. Number two is the long drawn issue of 62 to 65. Yesterday also I spoke about that. He also suggested why not we increase the ages of the judges from 62 to 65. If this 3 years is given, certainly there will not be a rat race to the Supreme Court. Everyone will be there in our High Court. They will work. In fact, the 3 years experience which they have gained out of this judicial functions will be certainly useful to the litigants and to the lawyers. This was also one of his recommendations. And the third one, friends, I really want a big applause, social diversity in the appointment of judges to the High Court and Supreme Court. Friends, all of us, India is a country, with different cultures, different faces, and he is a man who can achieve the social justice. I can see that is in his vision. He recommended for the social diversity. Let all of them, the judiciary, be represented from all class, women, all sections of the society. So this is what a great vision he has got. So friends, you should applaud him for that. Friends, I wanted to say few things about the committees which he has chaired. There is no committee left in which he hasn't chaired. That's all I can tell. He has chaired all the committees. You should not mistake me. After Arun Jaitley, I could see a person with a clear dedication and a good friendship with all MPs cutting across the party lines, and an easily accessible person. So, these committees, as I said, the government felt is valuable involvement in all committees is required. Not only the government, the chair, and all the MPs also. Take it a select committee, take it a joint parliamentary committee, they take it a consultative, any committees you can see him. He has been in all the committees as a chairman, as a member, and so that is how he has contributed. He has not only contributed to this legal field, even the laws also. You take any law, his presence will be there. And any bill, you can see as a whip, he has spoken on that bill. That is the contribution for the laws that has come into existence, and especially I would say 127th, this constitutional amendment, his contribution is more, where the states are given power to identify the backward class. In fact, after the Maratha judgments, in fact, we all unanimously, we should only appreciate how this bill was brought in and passed. Of course, that was the only business that took place. Thankaji. So that's how, and Bhupendra Yadav ji spoke on that bill. I saw in Rajya Sabha, our Abhishek Manu Singhvi was saying that there is a gap because it is prospective. But the explanation which he gave, was really acceptable to us. He took us into the judgment of the Supreme Court. I said, no, there is no gap at all. How, that is how he is helping us. He helped us in the parliament also, and that's how all the parties accepted, and there was a smooth passing of this bill, and today the powers of the state is restored. And we are really proud when this bill, 127th Constitutional Amendment Bill, was passed. And I would say a man who possesses all good qualities, he always bears a smile. In the committee, he allowed us to grill any official. That is the spirit. That is the spirit. Because that is a participative government. Everyone has to participate. And what all that is required from that particular government official, he allowed us to, every member was allowed to speak on that, ask questions, and finally will be his view on that. And that is how I said, he is a man of good qualities and a good vision. And but for his hard work and dedication, he could have not come to this highest position as a lawyer, as a government counsel who started humbly in the beginning, as a senior advocate who has practiced in Supreme Court, and now he has adorned to this highest position as a union minister. Sir, we are really happy, sir. We feel as if our brother has become an honorable minister. That much of happiness and affection is there, sir. And one thing, Manan Kumar Mishra ji, sir, you should take it forward, sir. You should see how our family peoples have come to different walks of life. And sir, this is the occasion where, sir, you should unite all of them, even though there are different walks of life. But the thread which connects us is this profession, sir. And certainly, I would also thank Mr. Prabhakaran, who is the Vice Chairman and who was instrumental in bringing all of us, southern side also, and put it in this mainstream. And he gave us an opportunity to come here and address you all. Sir, certainly, sir, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra has got many things to say about this profession. Sir, you as a leader, sir, I would say that you are going to take as a leader of this entire advocate fraternity, sir, because you are in power and we are all here, sir. We will certainly support you, sir. Thankaji is also there, sir. What all requires for advocates, sir? Certainly the Bar Council powers and functions, sir, should be enhanced. Sir, they should be given more power, sir, because I can see, sir, this Bar Council is doing very well. Good job, sir. Sir, there was a strike in Madras High Court, sir. The strike went on for more months, sir. I can see if an emanation from Delhi, sir, the person who is striking, he will be suspended. The judges, sir, they came to seize the High Court, sir. Never in history you would have seen a seizing of lawyers of High Court. High Court was closed and locked, sir. But for the intervention of Bar Council, one single order, he suspended 127 advocates, sir. After that, the advocates came to know, oh, there is a supreme body called as Bar Council of India. Let us behave ourselves. And they are behaving very well. And in fact, I have to thank Sanjay Kishan Kaul, our Chief Justice, who was there, sir. We are really proud of him, sir. So much, protection he gave. CASF was brought, sir. Because of, sir, CASF normally comes to prevent terrorism. What terrorism can you see inside the High Court? Sir, the judges were fearing for lawyers, sir. So much so, the entire Bar Council, role of Bar Council, we should appreciate. The profession was brought back. The glory of this noble profession in the Madras High Court was brought back. I would say Madras High Court is one of the chartered High Court. And, even in social justice cause, Shanbagu Rajan, it emanated from the Madras High Court, which resulted in first constitutional amendment. So therefore, sir, I am really happy to be part of this function, and certainly Manan Kumar Mishra's reliefs and prayers should be granted, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I must acknowledge the presence of Mr. Neeraj, dynamic leader of Delhi Bar. He is with us today. Please welcome Mr. Neeraj. Mr. Wilson spoke about increase in the retirement age of High Court judges. The entire legal fraternity, the bar of the country, they are also in favor of increasing the retirement age of judges. But the overwhelming view, Mr. Wilson, I must tell you, and the Honorable Chief Guest is also here, overwhelming view of the advocates of the country is that the post-retirement job and assignments being given to these retired judges, they must be scrapped first. Only thereafter, you please increase the retirement age to 65, and Supreme Court you can make it to 70. But there are almost more than 40 commissions and tribunals where only retired High Court judges and Supreme Court judges can be appointed chairman or members. So this must be done away with. Only thereafter, please, you think about increasing the retirement age. Now, I will request Mr. Mohan Yadav, Honorable Higher Education Minister, Madhya Pradesh, Government of Madhya Pradesh, to please come and say a few words. Please be brief, Mr. Yadav. Thank you very much.
बार काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया के द्वारा आयोजित आज हमारे अपने भारत सरकार के मंत्री माननीय भूपेंद्र यादव जी के सम्मान समारोह में मंच पर विराजमान बार काउंसिल के अध्यक्ष माननीय मनन मिश्रा जी, सम्माननीय प्रभाकरण जी, राज्यसभा सांसद द्वय माननीय विवेक जी, विल्सन जी, माननीय चेतन शर्मा जी, समूचा मंच, मैं वास्तव में बहुत थोड़ा ही बोलने आया हूं, लेकिन मैं बोलने इसलिए ज़रूर आया हूं कि मैं विक्रमादित्य की नगरी से आया हूं और मैं मान के चलता हूं अगर मैं सम्राट विक्रमादित्य की नगरी से आकर के आज के इस बार काउंसिल के कार्यक्रम में दो शब्द नहीं बोलूँगा तो लगेगा कुछ बाकी रह गया। मैं इस नाते से भी इस चीज़ का पूरा ध्यान से सुन भी रहा था और आनंद करके एहसास भी कर रहा था कि मैं जिस जगह से आता हूँ वो सम्राट विक्रमादित्य की नगरी नहीं है, बल्कि भगवान कृष्ण की 5000 साल पुरानी शिक्षा स्थली उज्जैन भी है, जहाँ से कहीं ना कहीं भूपेंद्र जी का संबंध जुड़ता है और हमारे सबके लिए गौरव भी होता है। इस नाते से भी जो बातें माननीय विवेक जी ने कही है, माननीय विल्सन जी ने कही है, वो हमारे लिए और अपना सीना चौड़ा कर देती है। जिस बात का एहसास होता है कि हमारे परिवार का व्यक्ति जाए और जाकर के वो अपने संगठन का काम हो, सरकार का काम हो, तो ऐसा लगता है जैसे हमारे परिवार की बच्ची किसी विवाह के बाद जिस परिवार में जाती है और वहाँ से वो गुणों की खान की जो उनकी बड़ाइयाँ सुनते हैं, उनकी अच्छाइयाँ सुनते हो जो एहसास होता है, उसी प्रकार का एहसास हमको आज यहाँ हो रहा है कि चाहे वो अपनी राज्यसभा के दरमियान सबको लेके चलने की भावना हो, बाहर की अपने दायरे की बात हो, हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के व्यवहार की बात हो, और अंदर से सभी दलों के अंदर वास्तव में लोकतंत्र की रक्षा तो तभी हो सकती है जब ये खुशबू बिखरे कि जब विवेक जी तारीफ करें भूपेंद्र जी की, तो यह हमारे लिए और आनंद बढ़ जाता है। मेरी अपनी ओर से वाकई मैं धन्य हूँ और हमारे अपने बार के माननीय मिश्रा जी का आभार मानता हूँ कि आपने मुझे आमंत्रित किया है। मैं माननीय भूपेंद्र जी का प्रारंभ से जुड़ा हुआ मित्र भी हूँ, लेकिन भाई के नाते से नहीं, आज आपके बार के नाते से, क्योंकि मैं बार का मेंबर हूँ, उस नाते से मैं आपका वंदन करता हूँ, अभिनंदन करता हूँ। और आप सबको भी मौका पड़े तो बाबा महाकाल का दर्शन का आमंत्रण देते हुए अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद यादव जी। एंड नाउ फेलिसिटेशन बाय स्टेट बार काउंसिल So I would request the delegation from Andhra, please come. Please come. Please welcome. And Mr. Rami Reddy will lead the delegation. Felicitation of the Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Rami Reddy, our member, Bar Council of India from Andhra. आपका अपना शॉल है तो दे दो, अगर आपका अपना शॉल है तो दे दो, पीसीआई वाला पानी। चलो 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 यार, चलो। And now Assam, after Andhra, Assam. Mr. Apurva Sharma ji. Mr. Nair, P.D. Nair, and Mr. Apurva Sharma. And Bihar. Now our leaders from Bihar, please come. Mr. Ramakant Sharma, he is President High Court Bar Association Bihar. Chairman Bihar State Bar Council. And please, all members from Bihar, all the guests who have come from Bihar, please come. Mr. Manan Mishra is leading the team to welcome the Honorable Chief Guest from Bihar. Arams. This is the largest contingent. And after Bihar, from Delhi, our delegation from Delhi. आइए नीरज जी साहब, आइए दिल्ली वाले, आओ सब आओ, सब आओ दिल्ली वालों, प्लीज जरा वहां से ये बुक उठाते रहना। ओके, अच्छा दिल्ली के बाद कर देंगे। नीरज जी yours truly, Ved Prakash Sharma, will lead the delegation.
दो नाम बढ़ा देने।
सर नमस्ते।
नमस्ते नमस्ते, आइए आइए, वेलकम। मैं बोल दूंगा। कुछ नहीं हो गया,
दो नाम ऐड कर दिया यूपी में।
कर देंगे।
यूपी में बाद में ऐड किया, दो नाम बढ़ा दिया। सिद्धेश्वर गौड़, उत्कर्ष गौड़, मेंबर यूपी बार काउंसिल।
इसके बाद आप ले लेना, जो भी नेक्स्ट पूछ लेना मनन मिश्रा जी। हाँ,
डी का पास
दिल्ली के बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट
गुजरात गुजरात सर भी हमारे
आया हो ना, चलो
दिल्ली
हाँ
उड़ीसा
आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ, बढ़िया। नमस्कार, क्या हाल? Please take your seats. Those who have presented the bouquet, please take your seats. Please take your seats. अभी इसमें है ही नहीं, अच्छा सॉरी। एंड नमस्कार। नाउ छत्तीसगढ़, प्लीज छत्तीसगढ़, to be led by Mr. Dubey, Mr. Shailendra Dubey, Honorable Member Bar Council of India from Chhattisgarh. इसमें कोई आया ही नहीं हुआ है आपके अलावा। And now the Honorable committee members from Supreme Court Bar Association, Supreme Court Bar Association. हाँ हो गया। So they are done in Delhi delegation. They are already done. वो दिल्ली में आ गए सब। अच्छा वो
Supreme Court Bar Association and SCORA.
and SCORA, yes.
Supreme Court AOR Association.
Supreme Court Bar Association and Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association, please come. And after that, from Gujarat, Patel Saab. पटेल साहब आइए अपने डेलीगेशन को लेके। And then Himachal, Mr. Desraj Sharma, please. The honorable guest from Himachal, led by Mr. Desraj Sharma.
After that, Delhi, please.
हाँ आप आइए।
झारखंड से,
I'll leave it there.
झारखंड से ना,
And after Himachal,
झारखंड,
Jharkhand. नहीं अभी आएंगे। Will come.
सीरियली का
Mentioning names. Now Mr. D.P. Dhal will take over the podium. Mr. Dhal, please continue.
Yes. Now, State of Jharkhand, led by Prashant Kumar Singh, member BCI. And Rajesh Kumar Shukla, Vice Chairman, Jharkhand State Bar Council. Next, I am inviting members of State Bar Council, Karnataka. No. Next, I am inviting members of the State Bar Council, Madhya Pradesh.
You left Kerala, sir.
Mehta ji, where is your team? Delegations from Madhya Pradesh, Mehta ji, led by our honorable member Mehta ji. नाम नहीं है, मनीष तिवारी, संपूर्ण तिवारी from Madhya Pradesh. Next,
सबसे बढ़िया वाला
State of Maharashtra and Goa, led by our dear Satish Deshmukh. No? नहीं. Next, from Odisha, delegations from state of Odisha. I'm inviting, yes. No, bar council member नहीं है.
Odisha,
Team led by DP Dhal.
Punjab, Mr. Pradap, led by Pradap. Punjab and Haryana. Punjab, please. Punjab and Haryana, please. Members of the Punjab and Haryana, please. Take the book. Yes, Punjab and Haryana. Yeah. Next be Rajasthan. Members from Rajasthan, Chairman, Vice Chairman, please come.
To say Bar Council of India member from Rajasthan.
Srimali, Member Bar Council of India from Rajasthan, Srimali. Lead your state, please. Rajasthan, Srimali, please. Punjab, finish. Punjab, let the Punjab over. Punjab. Haryana. Punjab and Haryana, please. Punjab and Haryana, please. Next, Rajasthan. Srimali ji, please come. And Tamil Nadu. Narendra Singh Sinwar from Rajasthan, please come, sir. Vice Chairman, State Bar Council. Ram Shankar, Tamil Nadu Advocates Association, Ram Shankar and others, please come.
Come. You want to tell me? Next, Tamil Nadu, next you say. Tamil Nadu, after that, sir, Chairman, sir. Telangana. For you, which you have to say? Please announce. He says to say about Tamil Nadu. Telangana. After Tamil Nadu? Telangana, sir. What do you want? No, nothing. Tamil Nadu say his name. He says.
where is the name? Where is the name?
Should I say? State of Tamil Nadu, represented by the Bar Council of the Vice Chairman, Sri. Yes, please go fast. Mr. Prabhakaran, sir, from the Tamil Nadu contingent, and other members. Sharma sir. Next. State of Telangana, Vishwavardhan Reddy sir, and Mr. Sunil Gowd, Vishwavardhan Reddy.
Now, State of Telangana, led by Mr. Vishwavardhan Reddy.
Chairman A. Narasimha Reddy.
The Honorable Chairman A. Narasimha Reddy.
Vice President Sunil Gowd.
Vice President, Vice Chairman Sunil Gaur.
And Mr. N. Ramchandra.
And Mr. N. Ramchandra Rao. Please.
No, please.
Hey, Tamil Nadu, please. Telangana has gone.
Telangana. Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Tirupati ji, call your members. Uttar Pradesh. Next to Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Uttar Pradesh, Jaro. Come soon. After Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Mr. D.K. Sharma, Mr. Tirupati, lead your members from Uttar Pradesh State Bar Councils. Please, one by one, just. Sri Kumar Mehaltra, Pradeep Kumar Singh, Janki Sharan Pandey, yes, members. Go.
Bar Association Noida.
And Bar Association Noida, please. Please, Uttar Pradesh, Bar Association Noida. So one by one. Next, Uttarakhand, Mr. D.K. Sharma ji. Right, thank you. No, first let them finish. Yeah, Noida. Only mini. Uttarakhand district.
Bhandari,
Bhandari.
Solanki.
Uttarakhand, D.K. Sharma, Arjun Singh Bandari, Ranjan Solanki. Yes. Anjul from Uttar Pradesh. Saingidas from Uttar Pradesh. Come. You go. Go, Anjul. She's from Uttar Pradesh. And next to be ready, West Bengal, Siddharth Mukhopadhyaya. Come. And Shamil Kathak, Executive Chairman. Yeah, please. West Bengal. Yes.
बेंगल लगा तो खत्म
खत्म हो गया वेस्ट बंगाल
अंदर का तो शुरू होगा अंदर से शुरू होता है वेस्ट बंगाल
Next, what is?
That's all. Next, West Bengal. Now I request Manan Kumar Misra ji, we have to present memento.
Now presentation of shawls to the Honorable Chief Guest and other guests. Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra to present a shawl to the Honorable Chief Guest Shri Bhupendra Yadav. And Mr. Prabhakaran to Mr. P. Wilson. Mr. Prabhakaran to Mr. P. Wilson. Mr. Pratap Mehta ji, please come. You please present a shawl to Mr. Vivek Tankha. Mr. Pratap Mehta to present a shawl to Mr. Vivek Tankha. They belong to the same state. And Mr. Dubey, please come. You please present a shawl to Mr. Madan Yadav. You also belong to the same state. You are farmers.
Yes, Pratap ji.
Dubey ji.
Please.
शॉल दीजिए ना अरे शॉल इनको आपके पास ही रहा शॉल ये रहा Pratap Mehta ji is presenting a shawl to Mr. Vivek Tankha. They belong to the same state of Madhya Pradesh. And Mr. Dubey to Mr. Madan Yadav. एक और लाइए
I'll give to some.
ये now honorable chairman to present a moment to the honorable chief guest Mr. Bhupendra Yadav. Momento. Please give a big hand. And now yours truly.
Ved Prakash Sharma ji, the co-chairman Bar Council of India, is presenting shawl to Chetan Sharma ji, the age of Delhi. Thank you, sir.
And now presentation of the garland, big garland.
डालेंगे तो जाएंगे.
Please take your seats, please. And now finally, our honorable chief guest Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji. Sir, please, for your address.
आज बार काउंसिल के इस स्वागत कार्यक्रम में इतना आप लोगों का आत्मीय स्वागत हुआ कि मुझे लगता है उसके बाद अब मैं कुछ भी बोलूँगा उसमें मेरे शब्द कम पड़ जाएंगे, क्योंकि भावना की अभिव्यक्ति शब्दों से ज़्यादा व्यापक होती है। आप सब ने जो अपने हृदय के शब्द, जो भावनाएं व्यक्त करी, मैं तहे दिल से आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। परमात्मा से प्रार्थना करता हूं कि जो आपकी अपेक्षाएं हैं उसको मैं पूरा करने में सामर्थ्यवान हो सकूं। The Honorable Chairman of Bar Council of India, Respected Manan Kumar Mishra ji, Shri Ved Prakash Sharma ji, Shri Prabhakaran ji, Shri Dilip Patel ji, Shri Mohan Yadav ji, Honorable Additional Solicitor General Shri Chetan Sharma ji, my dear friends and my colleague in Rajya Sabha, Shri Vivek Tankha ji, Shri P. Wilson ji, all of my esteemed and distinguished colleagues from the bar. First of all, thank you for inviting and felicitating me. It is more important for me today that I am back in the company of my erstwhile esteemed colleagues. My journey started with you and amongst you. As a member of parliament, I have had opportunity to attend court proceeding and assist the dispensation of justice. However, after my appointment as a member of Council of Ministers, I have voluntarily suspended by bar membership as mandated by the Bar Council of India. For this position, first of all, I thank my leader and Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for giving me the opportunity to serve as the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, as well as the Minister of Labour and Employment. I am hopeful that your blessing and support, I would like to be able to fulfill my responsibility in the service of our nation. But I must confess that I am never stop being a lawyer. I cherish every moment of my life as the member of the bar. I am conscious of the difficulties faced by the member of the bar due to the COVID pandemic. The situation is particularly difficult for advocates practicing in the trial courts. The functioning of the court have impeded if not stopped. I am told that the listing of bail matters were taking months in some high courts. Our friends from the remote areas took to get digitally with the new technology of litigation. It is very difficult to them also. But I assure you that we shall leave no stone unturned to help and handhold you in these times of distress. Though we have tried to evolve with the situation by adopting online methodology, but it has its own limitation. As the chairman of Department Related Parliamentary Standing Committee, I have had the opportunity to evaluate the functioning of virtual court through video conferencing. And today Mr. Vivek Tankha ji and P. Wilson ji both are here. They were very helpful to me to prepare this report. Friends, though we tend to resist it, but change is only constant in this world. The technology should be harnessed and used for our benefit. One of the apprehensions with virtual court was that it did not subscribe to the open court system, which is the bedrock of judicial system and essential ingredient of functioning of the constitutional democracy. Open court system helps maintain public confidence in judicial procedures and system. I believe opening of live streaming of court proceeding would have an added layer and dimension to the open court system. We need to balance the working of open and virtual court. And after vaccinating more than 60 crore of our population, it is time to resume the open courts now. But when we will open this court, we open with digital support. Technology is only to assist the court, not to replace the open court. For example, the cases can be categorized based on their complexity and procedural prioritized accordingly. While simple matter, if it is relating with challan, negotiable instrument act cases like, and other small cases can be shifted to the virtual medium, but the complex category cases which require multiple witnesses examination, complex procedure and voluminous documentary reliances can be adjudicated in a regular court. This would not only make justice delivery system more robust and efficient, but also help in reducing the growing pendency of cases. After all, open court, when ably assisted by digital support, also address locational and economic handicaps, ensure safety of vulnerable witnesses providing testimony, thereby making it more citizen-friendly and offering access to justice. Friends, our civilizational ethos teaches us to be resilient during the adversities and evolve new ways to turn every crisis into opportunity. And we lived up to our expectation during the pandemic. For instances, from being totally dependent on import of PPE kit, we successfully developed indigenous supply chain of PPE and become out of the leading exporters of PPE kit. Similarly, we are one of the 5 countries in the world to have developed our indigenous COVID vaccine in record time. With one of the largest manufacturing and supply chain capabilities, we have truly lived up to our reputation of being the pharmaceutical capital of the world. The recent elevation of Supreme Court has indeed given us a joyous occasion. For the first time in the 70-year-old history, the apex court would have 4 sitting women judges. I take this opportunity to congratulate our judicial fraternity for elevating record number of women judges in Supreme Court, though I must admit that we have a long way to go. To currently, we have only 12% representation of women judges in our constitutional court, and thus, in addition to numerical strength, we also require inclusive measures on social and geographical creations also. My dear friends, in recent year we undertake some major legal reforms, from GST to IBC code to overhauling and subsuming 29 labor laws into the 4 labor codes, and also repealing thousands of outdated laws. We have undertaken some major structural legal reforms. One of the other areas that require our attention in use of the vernacular language in justice delivery, that is, use of vernacular language in our court proceedings. After all, what utility does have a law serves if its language is alien to majority of its followers? If the Member of Parliament can address the House in any of 22 languages listed in English in its schedule, with suitable arrangement for their real-time interpretation in English and Hindi, the Member of Bar can also make their submission in vernacular language with adequate infrastructure measures for real-time interpretation in constitutional courts. This would not only give a level playing field to the member of the bar, but also plug a major gap in justice delivery system, especially for the benefit of poor and down-to-earth. There is discussion in bar about the long-standing demand of creating All India Judicial Service along with the line of other All India services. Not only the Law Commission, it is a various report, but even the Supreme Court on various instances has endorsed its creation. We committed toward the discussion, and we want that more discussion will come on this subject. I am hopeful that apart from improving the capacity building measures of the Constitutional Court, we also give co-equal importance to improving the subordinate courts. This would help in reducing the ever-growing pendency of cases. Lastly, I must admit, with the advent of national law colleges, there has been an ever-growing tendency amongst the youth to opt law as a career option to an early academic stage. This is indeed attract some of the best brain of our country in the legal fraternity. However, it has been observed that they primarily concentrate to practice in the Supreme Court or High Court, if not opting for a career in a corporate law. I think Bar Council should make some active interventions to make district court practice more attractive so as to attract the meritorious National Law College student in its fold. District Court perform one of the most critical function in the justice delivery system. और सबसे अंत में मैं पूरे रूप से ये विश्वास करता हूँ कि हमारी जो लीगल फेटर्निटी में सबऑर्डिनेट स्तर पे और डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट स्तर पे जितने सुधारों के निर्माण की आवश्यकता है, हमारी सरकार उसको करने में प्रतिबद्ध है। लेकिन हमारा जो प्रोफेशन है, ये प्रोफेशन लोगों की सर्विस के लिए उनके अनुरूप उनकी एक्सेसिबिलिटी को ज़्यादा अप्रोचेबल बनाने के लिए हमारा ये प्रोफेशन बनना चाहिए। कुछ विषय कोविड पेंडेमिक के समय में हमारे प्रोफेशन में वकीलों की दिक्कत के लिए कहे हैं। मेरा ये मानना है कि हमारे जो कानून मंत्री हैं किरण रिजिजू, वो पहले स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर भी रहे हैं और स्पोर्ट्समैनशिप भी उनमें पूरी है। मैं बार काउंसिल के सभी लोगों को ये विश्वास दिलाता हूँ कि जो भी बार काउंसिल की इस विषय और जो भी बातें आएंगी, मैं किरण रिजिजू जी के साथ, आपके साथ मिलकर उसके समाधान के लिए हमेशा प्रयत्नशील रहूँगा। मेरे दो साथी मित्रों ने, विल्सन जी ने और विवेक जी ने जो विषय कहे हैं, ये वास्तव में मैं जितना कोऑपरेटिव रहा हूँ उससे ज़्यादा ये मेरे साथ कोऑपरेटिव रहे हैं, इसलिए वैसा वर्षा है, इसीलिए हमारा काम हो पाया। लेकिन बार के सभी लोगों का और इतने भावनात्मक तरीके से आप सभी ने व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे सम्मानित किया, मैं आप सबका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और ये विश्वास व्यक्त करता हूं कि बार की जिन बढ़िया परंपराओं को लेकर के हमने बार में प्रैक्टिस करी है, आपकी शुभकामनाओं और आपकी उन परंपराओं को मैं अपने मंत्रालय स्तर पर भी पूरा उतारूंगा। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you very much, Bhupendra Yadav ji. And now vote of thanks by Shri Prashant Kumar Singh, our member from Jharkhand.
Thank you, Sharma ji. Bar Council of India expresses deep sense of thanks to all honorable guests for taking out their time for today's felicitation function to honor Sri Bhupendra Yadav ji, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Employment. We also thanks to Sri B. P. Wilson ji and Sri Vivek Tankha ji, Honorable Member of Parliament and Senior Advocate. We also thank Sri Madan Yadav ji, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Madhya Pradesh. We also thank Sri Chetan Sharma ji, Additional Solicitor General of India. Our sincere thanks to all representatives of state Bar Council and Bar Association member and respected member of legal fraternities. We also thanks to Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, Central Sanskrit University, for making this occasion divine and beautiful by their Ved Slok rendering. We also thanks all the staff of BCI and security person from Delhi Police for making this program successful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Now, we have made arrangement for lunch for the honorable guests. Now, please proceed for lunch. But before that, please let the honorable guest leave the auditorium. Please be seated for some time. Let the honorable chief guest and the other guests leave the auditorium. As a national anthem, please rise for national anthem. Jane Gane Mangal Nayak Jai He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkal Banga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Uchal Jaladi Taranga Tab Shubh Naame Jage Tab Shubh Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Thank you very much. Sir, I will meet you. Please take your seats. आइए सर. पेन पेन नहीं सही करेगा सही हो गया. And we express our deep sense of gratitude to every member who have come from far off places. Thank you so much to all state representatives of state bar councils and bar associations. Thank you very much. Please proceed for lunch. Thank you.